Okay, so I'm just on. This is John Hanley, and I spoke about him in the video that I put into the group yesterday, and just a little bit of history on John. So he's owned a company that did nutritional supplements. He's been through every possible different type of product that you can see on the market. Incredibly knowledgeable, knows all about the health industry, and you were at a point where you were in quite a lot of pain, weren't you? So if you can just give us your kind of your experience of what you've had with the stem cell patches.
Yeah, well, first of all, I was born with one leg shorter than the other, and I was always warned that that would give me problems in later life, which it has done, and it's got worse in the last few years. I've also got a tilted pelvis, which also gives me pain in the lower regions and my back. This really has led to me becoming very depressed, and my life in general since in the last 18 months, I've got worse and worse and worse. Feelings of depression, can't sleep at night because of pain, all sorts of problems, and the problems seem to get worse as you feel worse. I've been using the patches now, this is my 6th day, and I can honestly report vastly improved sleep. And I've got loads more energy. For the last 2 months, 3 months, I've been unable to take the dog out with my wife. I've been able to go out at all, really, because I was in so much pain and didn't have the inclination to do so. That has now disappeared. I've now got much, much more energy, and I feel like the old John Hanley again. As to use the words of one of your old companies, my boom back has come back, or is coming back. And I'm really so delighted and pleased about this, and thank you, Anwar, for introducing me to the product. When I first heard about the product, I was very interested because I do know that from the age of 20, the stem cells start to depreciate in a person, and by the age of 40, they are virtually non-productive at all. And also, many years ago when I had my business, I attended a very large symposium at Oxford University, the theme of which was that the vast majority of illness is caused by inflammation in the body. So I know this to be true, and I have obviously got, as an 82-year-old in my 83rd year, I've got a lot of pain from arthritis and other things as well, and that is definitely beginning to go. There is no question about it. I can actually clench my right fist now, which I couldn't do 3 days ago. I can clench my left fist now, which I couldn't do 3 days ago. So the patches definitely work for me, and I'm absolutely confident they will work for an awful lot of people. And I suggest that some areas they may work could be enlarged prostate, certainly arthritic problems, and anything that is caused by inflammation. I do believe that the patches will work, and that is my opinion, and I'm experiencing that right now, Anwar.
You know, it's so similar what you're saying to what I experienced with my dad, you know, because when I went off to Michigan and I came back, honestly, he was glowing. It was like there was just a completely different complexion to his skin. We had him off all medication. You know, he'd gone from, you know, not being able to clench a fist to suddenly being able to clench his fist. And do you know what's happening now? Is in the last sort of 10 days, I've obviously been just working loads, so I've barely left the house. But like Steve's been taking my dad out every day, and they've started doing power walks across the beach. I mean, it's astonishing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's
you know,
brilliant.
And when we first moved to Marbella, like the very first day we went to the supermarket, and it was and my dad had to stop. He was literally holding his hip, and I was looking at him going, Jesus, is it really this bad, like, you know? And it's like we had to go and sit him in a cafe because he couldn't walk around. It was a massive supermarket, but he just couldn't. There was no way he could make it round with us. And it's like to now think that he's gone power walking with Steve on a regular basis. I can't get my head around it. It's astonishing.
Oh, brilliant. I haven't power walked yet, but I'm walking normally, which I haven't done now for 6-7 months. Probably longer than that, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this is a brilliant product, and
what do you think of your sleep side of things? Because everyone seems to be reporting this like deeper, more rested sleep.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do get up probably it used to be 3 or 4 times a night because of my age and the waterworks don't work as well. But that's now reduced to once a night, and I go back to sleep immediately I get back to bed, which is unheard of. I really am getting a decent night's sleep now, and I'm waking up feeling I can hop out of bed and start to do the morning ablutions, etc. And I'm always up at 7 o'clock. Now, I always used to be, but it's getting to 8:30, 9. I didn't bother to get out of bed, but I'm now up at 7 o'clock every morning.
Amazing.
And that's after 6 days, and that is honestly the truth.
Yeah. Incredible.
And if anyone's watching this, I'm not making it up at all.
Yeah, incredible. And you know, like, you've probably seen in the group as well, like, we've had so many people all starting to report the same testimonies. They're putting it on, they're feeling heat, they're feeling tingles, their pain's going away. I mean, I think it was Ryan McGuigan's one, and he's a therapist himself. He's he's a natural therapist, and it's like he had that problem where he was having like a tennis elbow, and it went within minutes. I mean, it's like
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, there's another thing. I'm under the doctors at the moment for poor circulation because about a month ago, my feet were hurting, my toes were hurting, and when I looked at them, they were really enlarged and all purple and red. And I went to the podiatry part of our doctor's surgery, and they did a test where they tested the blood circulation and the blood flow into my feet, and it wasn't exactly non-existent, but it was very poor. And I had to go back for some results of some checks they did I had to go back on Tuesday, and my blood pressure, which had leapt up as well, was now back to normal, and the blood flow into the ankles had improved, though they still want me to go to Exeter Hospital to have a further check on it. And my feet and toes are now normal. My wife was treating me by putting some cream each morning on my feet because I couldn't bend down properly, which I can do now. But and she said to me this morning, she said, you know what, your toes are so much better over the last few days. And they really are not back to normal, but they are very, very much better, and I can walk normally on the feet. So that's another thing.
We'll have to do an update at like 30 days and then 2 months and just see how it's all progressing. Incredible.
Sure, yeah. There's still a lot of improvement to go, but I'm absolutely certain it will happen. Awesome. I don't know whether I can do anything about my shorter leg. That's a structural problem. But what I think is happening there is the problem that it was causing was giving me pain all the way down my leg, because the leg was getting inflamed, and I think the inflammation is going down there, so the pain is now limited to my hip and just a little bit further round, and it's not as bad anyway, and it's something I can put up with for the rest of my life. It's no real problem at all.
Awesome.
So I mean, that is just fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see where we are in 30 days then.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we had glad to give you an update.
Awesome. All right, well, nice one for this. I'm going to post it into the group in a minute.
Okay.
All
right then.
Cheers.
Okay, it's always good to talk to you. It always makes me feel better as well. See your smiling face.
All good.
All right, we'll talk later.